presidential advisor, Senator Florence Ita-Giwa, has dismissed allegations of sexual harassment within the National Assembly, specifically those made by Senator NATASHA Uduaga against Senate President Godswill Akpabio. Ita-Giwa, speaking to newsmen on Tuesday, March 4, 2025, argued that a female senator should not consider herself vulnerable to sexual harassment. She responded to Akpoti Uduaga's claims that Akpabio blocked her motions on the Ajaokuta Steel Company after she refused his alleged sexual advances. By the time you contest elections and get to the Senate, you have passed that stage of your life of being sexually harassed. You go there to serve, and you're all equal in that place, Ita-Giwa said. While clarifying that she was not accusing Akpoti Uduaga of lying, Ita-Giwa maintained that raising such allegations reflects weakness. She urged female senators to focus on their legislative duties rather than their gender. Meanwhile, the Niger Delta Forum Pandef has alleged that the sexual harassment claims against Akpabio are part of a broader plot to remove him from office. In a statement, Pandef suggested that the allegations mark the first phase of a plan by Northern Nigeria to reclaim political power in 2027 after 2 consecutive Northern presidential terms under Muhammadu Buhari. Ita-Giwa insisted that raising such allegations is a sign of weakness, stating, "On this matter, I am not with Senator Akpoti. It is the worst sign of weakness on a woman's part to come out and accuse a man of making passes at you at that level," she emphasized. The difficulty of winning a senatorial election, and argued that female senators should consider themselves equal to their male counterparts. This saga at NAS has been ongoing for a while, and you know, I want to get your thoughts on this story before, you know, we dive into other parts of the discourse. Let me get your thoughts on this report, please.
Well, it's unfortunate. Very, very unfortunate. It's, those who live in glass houses, they don't throw stones. If you're relating with a woman, you're sure that you don't conduct yourself in a manner that would suggest that you're making passes. If at any point it's brought to your knowledge that your actions are being suggestive or being understood by the other person, you need to correct it immediately. Otherwise, whatever actions you take because of a relationship could be misinterpreted. It's unfortunate it's happened. I didn't expect, you know, this is deconstruction, you know, people now trying to interpret situations the way they like. That's what is happening. Like ethnicity, everything is coming into it. Yeah, you know, everything is coming into it. I don't think that is right, honestly. I think that if you really, if you like, let me tell you, I heard the senior president's wife saying that they had known the Akpoti's Natasha's husband, yes, earlier before they even met her. For me, if you look at the entire thing, the Akpoti's, Natasha's husband is not saying. I'm not sure she has said anything.
Oh, he has.
Oh, I don't know when.
So now a lot has happened with this. Yes. And for every day we wake up in the morning,
it's a running story.
There's a running story. There's a new development. Now, I think yesterday her husband rightly said she told him about the situation, and he met with Akpabio man to man and told him, okay, this is not. Don't do this and all that sort of thing. And he met him and spoke to him as an elder, as a friend and an ally. But he's surprised that the Senate president still continued. But then again, my guest with me in the studio yesterday rightly said, what would the husband have said in a situation of this nature? He's supposed to say he's not aware, or the whole matter is taking him unawares, or he's surprised about the development. Now, when we look at this, I want us to look at the facts first of all. Women are underrepresented in the Senate. They're just about 3 female senators.
About 4.
So we are vying for an increase in that. And now we have this. Right? Senator Kingibe said that Natasha never came to meet her one-on-one to tell her that this was happening to her and all of that. I want us to look at the fact that the whole trend of women supporting women. Can we see it in the story?
It's not happening. You know, a lot of factors are playing out. As I said earlier on, ethnicity, it depends on, who has the bulk of the cash. You can hire You can hire whatever group you want, but as long as you do give them the money, they just come and then defend positions. But again, women, actually, it doesn't matter. That's what Senator Ita-Giwa was saying with regard to if you're a woman, I'm telling you, you're a woman, you'll be surprised at your status and everything. A much younger man, in spite of the age, would come to talk to you. Will come to talk to you about love. Will come to talk to you about friendship, whether you are married or unmarried. So to say that because she attained that thing, that she would have overgrown that, no, that is not true. That is not true. But
approaching a woman doesn't necessarily translate to trying to sexually harass them.
Yeah, but again, at some point, that's why at some point, when for those who are not liberal enough to know that when you talk to a woman and she doesn't consent, you should let her be, even if she's your friend and she comes for some assistance. I mean, before you progress to the level of intimate or sexual relationship, you should be able to still continue assisting, because it could be that, oh, is it because I didn't agree? Is that why I begged you this? You didn't. When they think that, oh, yes, you are my friend, and they want to go to the next level and you don't oblige them, yeah, they begin to introduce some antagonistic measures.
Right. So I want to get your thoughts also. The Senate president hasn't said anything.
Yeah, he hasn't said anything. That is where I'm happy that he hasn't said anything. And there would have been room for alternative dispute resolution. It's not the courts. You might win the court and you don't have the peace. Remember, these are family members. These are family friends.
Right.
Something must have happened. People say that if the hand doesn't touch the drum, the sound doesn't come out. So you won't know. So something must have happened. I don't know what it is that happened, but I think that they should have deployed alternative dispute resolution. The Senate president's wife and ego, and the husband should have, my dear sister, this thing that is, we are friends. Can we manage this thing out of?
All right.
Yeah, it's possible. And even Ita-Giwa, those who claim that they are friends, that's why they should not take sides. If you really have their interests at heart, move towards checking for that, deterioration of the situation. I'm telling you, he's the number 3 man. He's big, and perhaps the lady is a smaller person. But let me tell you, each time you wearing a white and then you roll with an underdog, you will get messed up. Or you will get soiled. So you better don't allow it to start at all. So that's what let them, engage them. Bring them. I mean, sometimes people claim they are your friends. They are not your friends. They're only waiting for an opportunity to bring you down, and they stay behind, and they laugh. If those on both sides who claim that they are friends should bring them, sit down and say, look, gentlemen, lady, let's leave this matter. Yeah, I think it's going to a point where all of us are going to be messed up. Right. What are the issues? Let's resolve them.
All right.
Yes, not law courts. Alternative dispute. You handle these things without anybody even knowing. Okay, I'm sorry. Once I heard that the Senate president was going to apologize, she said something like that. She was expecting to apologize on the floor of the House and all of that. I know AKPABIO, he's a very jovial, you understand? But sometimes people think that you can take joke out of context. It's the issue of interpretation.
Right.
But yeah, my sister, not be like that too. I'm sorry. If that's the way oh my brother, look at what I'm sorry about this whole thing. And it ends.
It ends. Thank you so much for your insight on that report. We go straight to the next one. Safayanu Dahatu, a 20-year-old man, has been arrested for allegedly killing his 40-year-old mother, Salama Abdullahi, with a pistol in the Abujan Kawata area of Bauchi metropolis. The Bauchi Police Command, through spokesperson Ahmed Wakil, stated that the incident was reported by members of the Peace and Security Committee to the A Divisional Police Headquarters on February 24, 2025 at approximately 3 p.m. Dalhata is accused of attacking his mother with a heavy pistol, causing severe injuries, including fractured hands. Police officers led by DSP Police Officer CSP Abdullahi Muazu rushed the victim to Abubakar Tafawa Balewa Teaching Hospital, but she was pronounced dead by medical personnel. preliminary investigation suggests a heated argument between Dalhatu and his mother, which preceded the attack. The police have recovered the pistol used in the assault as evidence. State Commissioner of Police CP Anwar Musa Mohammed has ordered a thorough investigation by the State Criminal Investigation Department. He further assured the public that the case will be handled diligently and Dalhatu will be prosecuted upon completion of this investigation. You're a father yourself. I want you to look at this critically and where the youths, we are headed as a people. Now, I want us to look at it first from the hand of conflict resolution. How do you resolve conflict with your children from it, preventing it from getting to this point? The upbringing of children, where parents try to bring up their children in a way that, well, pleases them and the society, as it were. Let's look at this report.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate that, that this is matricide. Yeah. That the child should kill the mother. But again, we are told by the press, argument. What actually brought about the argument? I think we need to understand that.
Is that a consequential state of where you say this magnitude of argument should prompt somebody to hit his mother's head with a pistol?
I don't know whether, it's difficult to say whether the circumstance, whether the mother too had wielded a weapon in the argument. And perhaps, as I'm not trying to hold brief for anybody, and perhaps in self-defense, he also used the pistol. I'm not saying that is what happened. But right. The point is that we don't seem to have sufficient information in the context in which the son used the cordial. I mean, used the pistol. Yeah, that's so. It's wrong. It's wrong. If we bring our children up very well, sometimes is that. You will get out of you will really be frustrated. Yes, it has happened. Sometimes parents, out of their own frustration, want to spank a baby because the child, by his attitude or her attitude, has become very intimidating. Yes, children do that. If you read some books about by pediatrics and so on, you will see that human beings are very assertive, they are very domineering, but you begin to tend to that domineering attitude from the beginning.
Right.
Where otherwise, you tell your child, 4-year-old, 3-year-old, it tells you, I don't want to eat rice, I want to. And then you say, it's bedtime, go to sleep. You said, no, I don't want to sleep. And then, no, you begin to. And when you allow these things to get to a point where you are not able to manage it, then this is what happens. The child becomes overpowering, becomes, becomes very, he becomes uncontrollable. You are not able to discipline the child anymore.
Now, it is often said that children are born tabula rasa.
Yes,
yes. As they come to us, like you said in psychology.
Yes.
Now, when a child comes plain to us and as we receive these children, back in the day, the norms, the cultural norms and practices is quite different from what we have today. Back then, you have the moms spending more time with the children, while the fathers, go hunting, go do other things. But right now, we have a lot of families, like we said.
Depending on the tradition.
Now, we said hardship. We did say hardship. And I'm not saying that women were not working out. Women do go to farms at that time.
In some traditions, women work, and they are sources of livelihood for the family.
Exactly.
While they are men, I don't want to use the word idle about, but are not engaged in economic pursuits.
But the women were still technically still in charge of the children. Despite how busy they were.
Yes.
Now, where the angle I was trying to come from is right now you have everybody is working.
Yeah.
Everybody is trying to bring something to the table.
Exactly.
The cost of living is high.
Yes.
A bag of rice was 120 in December.
Yes,
and people will eat, right?
Yes.
So because everybody is constantly working, do you think we have lost how to impact morals and good value system in our children? Do you think we have lost that culture as a people?
Yes, I agree when you say being busy. But it's even worse. My wife sometime was in UK, in London, and she had to stay with the family. For the period she stayed, she was not too sure whether the husband and wife at any time were together. Is that the husband was going to do one job, come back, and then by the time he comes back, the wife had gone out, for another and so on. The economy, okay? So people are busy. And because they are busy, they appear, if sometimes I have, sometimes you look at it and you are so fagged out and tired, and your child is doing something, and because you don't even have energy to begin um, to begin to direct the child, to begin to tell the child that what this you are doing is wrong, don't do this, do that, discipline the child. So you just let go, just to keep the strength that you have, keep your sanity. And while you are doing that, things are deteriorating. That's not to say that people all along, people have disciplined their children.
That's where I was coming from. Even though everybody seemed busy then,
yes,
but people still grew up with certain, a great amount of value and moral. The decadence we have today it is not as prominent as it was not there as much. Back in the day.
Yeah, it was not there because if you look at it, the emergence of so many destructive drugs,
can be ruled out.
No, it can't be, because these drugs were not there at that time. I mean, then Igbo, marijuana, Indian hemp was there, but again, people were scared too, because if the police caught you at the time, you were in for big trouble. But people had gone beyond Igbo to take some of that things that you see some clips where children take it and you see them rolling in the gutter.
Right.
So it can't rule out the effect of drugs. Children are exposed to cocaine and all manner of hard drugs, maybe by virtue of coming in contact with money, which also allows them opportunity to afford this drug. These drugs are all over. NDLEA is trying, but are they doing enough? Go back to the institutions. Are they doing enough? You don't know the number of big men whose children are into these things because they can come by easy money, and so they purchase these drugs and take them.
No, so I know you're in academia.
Yes.
And back when I was just fresh out of secondary school and trying to get into university, I did try to get into UNILAC. Just small backstory.
Yeah.
And when you get there, you see all of the big banners and all of the sensitization going on. Drugs kill.
Yeah.
All of that. Do we still have that sort of sensitization as regards drugs going on now?
Yeah, it's scantily. You just see, some of those banners on indecent dressing, on cultism, on drugs. They are there, but I don't seem to see it be part of what do you call it, when fresh students come. Let it be part of their resumption program. What is it called? Is it matriculation? I mean, when they come in, you prepare fresh students. This should be part of it. And then you tell them, give them talks on the effects of drugs and what they should do to keep away from drugs. I think it's important that we should do sensitization to let our children know the effect of drugs.
Right.
Yeah. So it's possible that the child had been exposed to drugs, and so at the least provocation. And so how does this? So he reacted under the influence of drug to have meted that kind of treatment to the dear mother. Very unfortunate.
It's very unfortunate.
Very unfortunate.
Thank you so much for your insight on that report. Well, this is where we wrap it up on this episode of Atlantic Society Watch. Thank you, Dr. Adagogo Brown, for joining us on the show and giving us good insight. Remember, we're open for advert placements, news and events coverage, personality, society and political interviews, product service promotion, and car measures. Remember to connect with us on all our ATN socials, on Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, on Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network, we are on Twitter, on Atlantic TV Net. Watch us live on our website on www.atlanticnetwork.tv. Remember that peace and unity are the pathways to progress. Thank you so much for watching. I am Otaria Benjamin. Please stay with us.